Hello everyone, I'm Jason too, and you can call me Erica, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about the IGCSE Eng English Language B course. Whether you are just starting off or want to improve your exam skills, this video will give you clear guidance and useful tips to help you succeed in English Language B. So let's get started. So this is the overview of the whole videos. We will cover firstly about the introductions of myself, just a brief introduction, and after that a brief overview of English Language B, and the details. Look at Section 8, which is the reading analysis part of the exams, and finally I will show some practical tips to improve your answers and avoid common mistakes. So firstly, let me introduce myself properly. I'm Erica, and real name is Jason, but please just call me Erica. Obviously, I'm from Myanmar, and I scored an A star in IGCSE English Language B results in October-November 2024. And right now, I'm preparing to study the IB diploma program at University of Mahindra College on a scholarship. And I experienced tutoring students both one-on-one and in groups, helping them build confidence and improve their exam skills for both English and business studies. I'm really excited to share what I have learned with you today, all about English Language B Section A. So this is the overview of the subject. So what is IGCSE Eng English Language B all about? These courses help you develop your reading and writing skill through real-world non-fiction texts. These common themes like articles, letters, speeches, or diaries. You will learn how to analyze language and structure and understand the writer purpose, tones, and language, and write clearly for different audience and purposes. English Language B is a very practical subject that not only prepare you for exam but also improve your everyday communication but in a literature way. So, what are the assessments and skill? So, we all know that English Language B is just one paper exam, but 3 hours. We have 3 sessions: Session A, Session B, Session C. So 3 hours, 3 sessions. Session A is like analyze and compare to and syntax. That tests your reading skill. And Session B is writing based on the text. Is mostly letter or speeches. And Session C is transitionals or imaginative writing, which is about narrative, argumentative, descriptive writing. And don't worry, all texts are linked by common themes. So it's quite easy. So now, let's focus on Session A, which is a very important part of the exams, obviously. In these sessions, you will be given 2 answering tests that are linked by a theme. And there are 7 questions to answer, including some that ask you to find specific information from the text, other where you explain how, specific information from the text is like 1 to 2 marks. 1 to 2 marks, and it's usually you have to find and copy the correct detail from the text, and you don't have to use your own word. That is time consuming and time wasting. So yes, you have to be quick and accurate because those are just small amounts of scores. And others will you explain how the writer used language and structure to create effects. It is 10 marks. It has your language analysis skills, and you have to explain how writers use language and structures, and you have to avoid feature spotting, such as like just saying the writer used metaphor, the writer used rhetoric, the writer used hyperboles. You have to use evidence and explain its effects clearly. In language analysis 10 marks. And lastly, there is comparisons essay. Comparison questions where you compare the 2 texts, and in your comparison, it's important to use linking words like however or similarly to connect your ideas, and this whole section A carry a big portion of your overall maths. So it's important to do well in section A to get the A star, whether it is 8 or 9. So these are the details questions and how to answer and how they are marked. So now is for the helpful phrases, because we have already discussed about the types of questions and how to answer. So these are some more phrases to make your section A a perfect answer. So phrase to introduce quotation. When you introduce quotation, you can use the evidence that support this is blah blah blah. This is evident one, this is apparent one, this is illustrated by, this is demonstrated by, this is shown by, to introduce quotations. And when introducing the explanation, you can use this suggests that, this infers that, this implies that, this insinuates that, this shows that, this highlights the idea that. These are the words to use. These are the phrases to use when introducing the explanations. Using these phrases really help you in section A. So now this for advanced tips. So how to get a set in IGCSE Eng Language B. You have to go beyond than just identify the devices. For example, if you use the writer use a metaphor, that's a really poor answer. You have to show the evidence and the explanation. The writer used a metaphor which is shown by the quotation blah 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 to compare the storm to the beats. Emphasizing uncontrollable power, this leads to blah blah blah. This explains why the writer uses and what impact it has. And also you have to link your explanation back to the writer proposed audience or terms. For example, this creates tensions and makes the reader feel the writer's feels. You have to always link back to the explanations. So the other tips that you should use. So now what you shouldn't use, what you should avoid. You should avoid just naming the devices without explaining the effects, and also vague comments such as interesting, make you feel something without any specific information. These are poor answer. And also avoid summarizing the text instead of analyzing of how and why. And also when answering the comparison question, you have to compare directly, not separately. And also in time-mass question, the writer usually asks the question with how they support the writer purpose, how they support writer blah blah blah. Also, when you see those kind of questions, and you have to find the related quotation, not all the quotations, not all the devices. Also, avoid overusing long quotations without clear explanation. These are the tips that you shouldn't do and you should avoid in the exam to get the successful marks at IGCSE English Language B. So yes, if you want to learn more about Section B, which is the writer writing, or Section C, which involves transactional imaginative writing, we offer group classes and a one-on-one tutoring at a fair price. So in this session, you will get to practice past paper, receive details, feedback, and learn strategies to improve your writing skills across the whole exam. So feel free to contact me if you want to try or have any questions. We are here to support you every step all the way to your IGCSE exam. So thank you so much for watching the videos, and I hope it had helped you understand how to approach English Language B with confidence. Good luck with your studies, and remember, you can always reach out if you need help or guidance. See you next time. Bye bye.